How's it going, guys? Objector here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Overwatch's protective mother, Ana. Ana is a healing sniper and quickly becoming one of my favorite characters to play because of her playstyle. She can heal but also deal damage from a distance, and if played correctly can be an absolute menace for the enemy team to try and deal with. So let's get started and see what makes her such a great support in skilled hands. First, let's take a look at her bionic rifle, which has 8 rounds and fires at a rate of 1.2 rounds per second. You're going to want to keep this in mind as you can easily oversample this and not get the maximum rate of fire possible. So my advice is to listen to the audio cue as the rifle sort of charges up between shots to help time when you want to pull the trigger. Now her shots do 80 damage per hit or heals allies for 75 HP per hit, both over the course of 1 second. Do keep in mind that she gets no bonuses for headshots, so just go for the body. This is explained away in the lore by her rifle shooting darts instead of bullets, but in reality it's a balancing factor to make sure Widowmaker is still viable, because if you could have a sniper that could one-shot headshot and heal teammates, there would seldom be situations to pick Widowmaker over Ana. There are a few interesting things about her bionic rifle I want to point out here, and one is that her crosshairs don't need to be lined up perfectly with an ally in order to heal them. They simply need to be inside the triangle and they will be healed. Another important thing to note is that the bionic rifle is both a projectile shot as well as a hit scan shot. While zoomed in, it acts as a hit scan weapon but leaves a trail that can be followed back to you by watchful enemies. But while zoomed out, acts as a projectile without the trail. So do keep this in mind when using her rifle and be sure to switch back and forth strategically as you need to. Ana's next tool is her sleep dart, which deals 5 damage and has a 5-second duration with a 12-second cooldown. The 5-second duration is huge as you can take an enemy out of the fight for 5 seconds or even stop ultimates. However, they will be roused when taking any damage, eliminating this 5-second duration. Because of this, your communication is key when using it, as your team can use the opportunity to have 5 seconds to focus other teammates while, say, the tank is taking a nap, or put a mobile attacker down so the team can focus and quickly eliminate them. Next up in Ana's bat belt is the bionic grenade, which has a 3-meter radius, a 5-second duration, and a 10-second cooldown. Enemies hit by the grenade take 60 damage and are unable to heal from any source for 5 seconds. Allies hit by the blast will be healed by 100 HP and receive 100% more health from healing sources for 5 seconds. This means she combos really well with champions that have their own heals, such as Roadhog and Soldier 76, as you can boost their heals as well. Also keep in mind you can throw it at your own feet and use it to heal yourself for 100 HP if you need to. And lastly, Ana's ultimate is the Nano Boost, which hits one ally in combat. It is smart aim, so you don't have to worry about missing a teammate. The ally that gets the buff will move faster, deal more damage, and take less damage. This combos well with a lot of other ultimates such as Bastion and Reaper, so make sure to communicate with your team when your ultimate is up, or use it when you see the best opportunity. Alright, now that we know what she can do, how do we make the most out of Ana? Well, as you can see here, I'm staying far back from the fighting, providing cover and support for my team from a distance, primarily through heals, but occasionally taking shots at the enemy team when I get the chance, but your main focus is going to want to be providing heals for your team and keeping them alive as much as you can. This can be difficult sometimes if you have a highly mobile character that has a small hitbox such as Tracer or Junkrat, but a lot of times these players that if they do need a heal, they will be smart enough to back out of combat and stand still for a second so that you can heal them back up. As far as when to heal and when to deal damage, always prioritize the heal. If you're not sure, heal, because everyone on your team will out-damage you, so you want to do your job to keep them alive. If you've been doing your job well and your team is fully healed, or at least the ones you have line of sight on, and you see an enemy in the open, obviously take the shot, but if you deal more damage than you are healed at the end of the game, you're not really doing your job, and you're most likely going to lose the match because of it. And as you've seen in some of the gameplay here, if there's a big team fight going on, stay back and shooting into the massive bodies as fast as you can will give your team plenty of heals while also getting the random shot off on an enemy player. The next important thing to being good with Ana is effectively using her ultimate. As I mentioned before, her ultimate combos very nicely with a lot of other ultimates, so if you hear like a Genji pop his ultimate, try and get your ult on him to give him those buffs. Otherwise, if you have a player on your team that is dominating, try to read when they're going to dive in or make a big move and give them the buffs so that they can really go to town. Knowing when to use Ana's ult is going to take some practice, and I'm not going to say I've mastered it by any means, but watching your team and knowing the best times to use it is going to make life a whole lot easier for your teammates. Now let's recap and go over everything you need to be an effective Ana player. Number 1, positioning. You want to be at the back of your team. You want everything to be going on in front of you. Position yourself so that you can kind of overlook the battlefield and see your teammates and enemies without having to turn around and seeing which teammates are behind you needing a heal. Everyone should be in front of you, and you should be keeping track of who needs healing the most. Number 2, prioritize healing. Get damage off when you can, sure, but when your main focus should be making sure your allies are taken care of. Everyone on your team is going to deal more damage per second than you are, so take care of them and support with damage after you've taken care of your team. Be the nurturing mother of your team. And number 3, using your abilities and ultimate effectively. Ana has a lot of tricks up her sleeves, and knowing when to use a sleep dart to take an opponent out of the fight for a few seconds, or to stop an enemy's ultimate and change a team fight, using the nade to get the most healing for your team, and of course, knowing when and who to use your ultimate on can win the match at key moments. Ana isn't going to have as many heal points as Mercy or Lucio at the end of the game, but where she excels is staying back and keeping herself safe while healing allies that the enemy doesn't expect to be healed. If you see Mercy's healing trail on an enemy, you know it's going to take more damage to kill them, and you're going to adjust and deal more damage, or simply follow the trail and take out the Mercy. Ana can keep herself safer than the other healers by staying back, away from the fight, and healing teammates from a distance when the enemy isn't expecting it. This is her greatest strength and what you should be looking for to take advantage of whenever you can. She is a great champion, but also a very high skill cap, so you need to get practice in with her if you want to be good. You need great accuracy and top tier situational awareness at all times. Anyway guys, that's all for this video. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Overwatch guides. If you haven't seen my previous video on Zenyatta, click the link on the screen now. Until next time, this is Objector, signing off.